Hello, people. Well, those of you that have seen my posts or you're on my email list, um, oh, hi, guys. Hi, Damon. Hi, Lauren. Well, I gave myself a challenge, and so here I am. I'm sitting here in my sacred space in my home, and this is going to be day one of 30. So I guess I'll just reiterate why I'm here and why I'm doing this. Although tonight I started to feel like, why am I doing this? I was once in a program. I've worked with several coaches over the years, and when I was in one of the programs, I had told the coach I was working with that I had a vibe that I should be going live for 30 days in a row. And at that time, I was nervous about speaking live, which I no longer am. And she kind of shot it down and said, oh, that was too much, and I didn't do it. And things have progressed in my life and in my career and in my practices. And I was recently in a healing session. As a healer, we get to receive healing in order to keep holding space for people. And I got the download again, speak 30 days of lives. And to be honest, at first, I just didn't even want to. Those of you that know me for a long time, I used to do more lives and post a lot more. And over the past almost year, I have been a little bit more internal, a little bit more cocooning. I've still taught my classes and have seen clients one-on-one. Hey, honey. And but I've been going through some very deep things that have put me in a cocoon, or I chose to be in a cocoon in order to take care of myself. And those of you that have been on healing journeys might understand what I'm talking about, where sometimes when you're going through things, it's really important to protect your heart and protect your energy field and be very discerning about who you put yourself in front of. Anyway, I have been feeling like cocoon stage has been ending, and so I've been sitting with what that's going to look like for me in my next season of output and my next season of offerings. And even I've been looking at my mission in this world, in my dharma, to see if it's still in alignment with my body and my soul. And so there's been a lot of introspection, a lot of quiet, and even times of stress. And so, but I feel just like I've been taking such good care of myself. And in the meantime, I've been becoming more of a student. I've been showing up at circles as a student, saying less and taking more in, which has been really healing for me. I'm watching a lot of newer teachers and healers come in that are doing beautiful jobs. I'm seeing people come in just with light, and even some of my former clients are just doing amazing work that just blows my mind. So it's been really beautiful to watch. So if you're going to be watching me on this 30 days of lives, I'm going to be discovering along with you what's going to channel through. As I said, it came to me in a healing session, and if there's one thing that I've learned over the years in my spiritual development is that when I receive a message and I don't listen to it, a lot of things happen that that bring me back to there, and it's usually painful. So I've learned to listen to my intuition, and I do help people do the same, because a lot of times when we have intuition, it doesn't make any logical sense, or it's something that we don't even want to do, or we don't want to believe, and so we can always find reasons to not listen to our intuition. And but if there's one thing I've learned, is to listen, and listen as quickly as possible and take action. So over these next 30 days, I have certain subjects that I talk about all the time, that I teach in my programs, that I share in my classes when it comes to healthy boundaries and learning your intuition, learning about your clairs, listening to your body and learning your body's messages, how, relationship dynamics, trauma responses, and ways to work with your nervous system, and more. And so we'll see what comes up and in what order. I'm going to just allow messages to come through, and I will discover why I was given this message to keep speaking in this way. I'm not in the middle of a big launch right now, although I do have space in my one-on-one program, and I do have a wait list that is open for my group program, Ignite Radical Radiance, which will be later this year, after the 30 days. That will be opening to launch again. And what else? Let's just see what else is coming through. Right. Okay. The other thing that was coming through is that a lot of times, well, let me just not say it that way. As somebody who's in this world as a teacher, as a mentor, as a leader, as a healer, we are super responsible. Well, it's important for us to be super responsible for our frequency and for our energy. And those people that know me, I am super focused on what I put out into the world, because I know that my vibration and my frequency can affect the people listening to me. And what I'm starting to see is that it's also had me filtering what I share, because there is a fine line between sharing and dumping, right? Those of you that know what I'm talking about, you can look at my latest post and you can see how I described the difference. And those of you that are empaths, which most people that follow me are empathic, you know what it's like to feel dumped on, right? Somebody spews the energy, I call it you get slimed. And so it's really important to me to keep high integrity in my speech, in my words, in my vibration. But what's happened is that because I have been filtering and been so careful, it's blocked me from sharing certain wisdom that I have with the world, and some vulnerabilities that some people might need to see in order to see that they're not alone. And so in these 30 days of lives that I'm going to do, which I will welcome your support in cheering me on, because there's a part of me that's kicking and screaming and does not want to do this. But I am committed to getting more vulnerable and sharing more, and really honing in on that, some storytelling that will support you. And knowing that just because I've been a teacher, a mentor, a healer, does not mean that my life has been all rainbows and roses. And in fact, what I've been discovering through a lot of offline discussions is that most of us that have gone into the healing arts are because we've come through some things that are just unfathomable sometimes. And yeah, so all the tools that I've worked with for myself, I have studied enough and deep enough so that I can share with my clients. So my clients have benefited from the path that I've taken where I didn't have anybody in front of me. A lot of mine was research and self-discovery and many late nights of figuring it out. And I have been blessed with some really great coaches, a couple of good therapists, but mostly it's been my connection to Source and to God. And and then there have been times where that connection has gotten blocked or it's gotten blurry. And as somebody who's in the healing arts and stands for people, that can be super scary and vulnerable and make one, meaning me, want to close it all off and shut it all down. But every time I have highly considered shutting everything down, the universe just gives me very clear messages that this is still my dharma. And so it can be very, very confusing. And some of you might be able to relate, where you feel like you're on this path and all of these signs and it's, you know, the whole thing. And then the next thing you know, these things happen that just are really harsh and like, okay, maybe that's a sign. And then you ask and then it's like, no, you're on the right path. So it's like, what the hell? So it's very interesting. But I'm always open to learning, no matter how many years of experience I have underneath my belt. I'm always going to be a student too. And always with humility. And I am devoted to this work. So I show up whether I feel amazing, and I show up when I'm not feeling so amazing. And I do my best to clean up my energy however I can. So this is going to be me for 30 days. And feel free to send me a message. I'm hoping I can also send this to Facebook. But feel free to send me a message if you have requests about what you want me to talk about when it comes to personal development, when it comes to energy and frequency, when it comes to just your path of working with your nervous system. You can ask me any question, and I will do my best to answer it. And so yeah, so I'm doing this. There's half of me that's still like, I don't want to do this. And also, you know, there's a very common theme that a lot of times, or most of the time, that whatever it is that you teach, you get called to it as an initiation. And this is not my first initiation with intuition, with using my voice, but this is like next level, whatever's happening. And there have been some things behind the scenes over the last, I don't know, 8-9 months that have been very deep and perhaps life-changing. And I will feel into it to see what gets to be shared. Maybe some of it I'll just share on my Facebook group. So we'll see how that goes. But meanwhile, I'm here, and this is day 1 of 30, going live, speaking to you from my heart, unscripted. And somebody's writing, feel the stretch. Yeah, thank you. Feeling the stretch. Yeah, exactly. It's I'm just kind of feeling a little bit naked, because typically when I speak, I have an intention, and I have an intention, but I have an end result that I'm moving towards. And right now, there's no end result. This is just about My intention is to follow my intuition and speak. And before I shut down for the night, I do have to say that I am grateful. I'm grateful for my voice. I used to not be able to use my voice. I was the quiet one in my family. There was a lot of people in my family. All of them were louder than me, and I couldn't get a word in edgewise at the dinner table. When I went into yoga teacher training in 2008, I had no intention of teaching. I just wanted to learn how to use yoga to help my back, and how I can use yoga to help my body better. When I first taught yoga, my voice was trembling, and I never thought that I would be comfortable speaking in front of groups or online. That was just never a part of my plan. And so I'm just open to whatever God has in store for me. A lot of things have stopped or stalled. So I feel like I'm getting mixed messages from the universe. But here I am. So, and my intention is that not all 30 lives are going to be love and light. Maybe there's going to be sadness or grief or anger, and but not in a way that's dumping. I'm going to still hold the integrity of my vibration, and I just ask to be guided from source to share in a way that that you see yourself in me, and that we're all the same, right? We're all one anyway, right? And so, yeah, I think that's it for the night. All right, well, thank you. Oh, thanks, Lauren. I will keep going. And, I have no idea what God has in store for me, but this is day 1. Welcome to my sacred space. Welcome to my heart. And, oh, thank you, honey. Thank you so much. Corey, we had such a good time today. I'll talk about that tomorrow. But I'm going to keep talking and see what comes through. I have a lot of experience and wisdom underneath my belt, and I've been holding out a little bit, and I'm done holding out. Ready to share, and I'll probably start adding more to my book, so eventually that can get published. And so, all right, looking forward to connecting with you. Sending love. Good night, everyone.